Hi guys, a few days ago I did a video where I showed all my mulberry bags in one go. Apparently it was 22 bags in 22 minutes. I hadn't counted along, somebody else did that. What somebody else again noticed was that the quality was really bad. Since I never watch my videos back, I hadn't noticed myself. So I'm trying to rectify this by introducing a proper little camera thing, which I normally never used before. I always used my MacBook camera, which is why the quality of the videos was so bad. So anyway, so I haven't even packed my bags away properly. They were sat on a shelf for me to decide which ones are going to go, which ones are going to stay. So they're still all here. And I thought, right, let's try this new camera. Shall we have a go? No particular order, right? Something a little bit vintage. We've got a Mulberry Bucket bag here. Really like about these. Oh, like the last time, I'm going to show you the bits, or I'm going to tell you the bits. I like the bits that are not so practical. Really like the long strap. It's well long enough to go crossbody. I like that the size is really good because it kind of holds a bit more than just your basics, but it's still quite a compact bag. What I found a little bit difficult is access, because it's obviously sort of cinched together, but you can open the bucket at the top and then it opens like literally all the way out. So can be a little bit fiddly, but actually for me it usually works quite well. Sometimes it annoys me, sometimes I don't even notice it. Probably really depends what kind of bags you're used to, but really lovely leather on this one. So trying to decide on this one. Put down here. What is this? Oh, something else that's a bit vintage. It's my Mulberry Euston. They came with a canvas strap, which is in here. As you can see, it is only a little bit adjustable. You hook the canvas strap on these end bits, and that's, when I look at it, always reminds me on the of the Roxanne, kind of the same. You see these kind of like ears at the end. What I really like about this bag is just this sort of classic design. It's kind of like a speedy bandoliera shape. It has a good capacity. I like the NVT leather. Very good. Shh. I'm doing hi guys, okay? Shh. I like the NVT leather. What I find a little bit more difficult is access again, but I think it's probably a particular bookbear that I have. It's actually absolutely fine, very similar to the small Del Rey. I'm just used to my, what's it actually called? Fossil Sydney, and that one goes, the zip goes down on the side here, and that's really, really cool because it opens really wide. We have got, let's start my base with this one. There's a couple of other ones in there which I'll take out in a second. Basewater. This one is what reignited my love for the basewater. I had printed veg tan for years and years. Never really used her. She was really bulky, heavy, gorgeous looking, beautiful smell. Every time I took her out, and I thought, oh, I better sell her. I smelled her and I thought, no, I can't move her on, and moved her back into my wardrobe. And then I kind of stumbled across this one. A friend had bought her and moved her on, and I bought her off her, and it was like a revelation because she's so soft and light that I found her brilliant for work. Just sort of flung over my shoulder, public transport, nothing bulky sticking out or whatever. And yeah, and the weight is definitely a factor. So this one should probably stay alone for the fact that it completely reignited my love for the basewater. And in here, I just popped in there. As I said, I didn't tidy them away properly, so I just put them out of harm's way on a shelf. What have we got in here? We have got a lily in oak with the little shoehorn fob. Isn't that lovely? Lily in oak. And interesting, some lilies have these kind of inside pockets, and you'll see later that some have others. I just thought that would be interesting to show. But yeah, lilies are these kind of bags where I think, yeah, you have to have one in your collection if you like mulberry. You know, it's a really sort of classic shape and stuff, and it looks like the perfect bag. But actually, they're rather small. I mean, once I have my purse in there, if I can even fit it in there, that's it. That's pretty much full. And I'm not somebody who moves things in and out of a purse. According to which handbag I carry, really can't be. So really, she's probably more of an evening bag, and for that, this finish is probably not quite dressy enough. So I'm really undecided. I absolutely wouldn't say I love this one, but I've never really used it. So a little bit daft. Pop it away. Oh, I'm losing my belt. Great, let's pop it on the side. Then I've got something very similar in here. I've had this one for quite a while, and again, very rarely used because of exactly the same reason. It's just the size. I always think this looks great. The medium looks like I've borrowed a bag of my mum and I haven't quite grown up enough to use it yet because it just looks too big on me, or I look like a child with it or something, but it just doesn't hold quite enough for me. But they're so lovely, and this one, I mean, you know, I have a soft spot for printed leather, and this printed oak is just beautiful. Yeah, love it. But I don't know, what shall I do? Right, what have we got in here? Oh, in here we've got another small bag. We have got a, I just want to say, a doorstop bag. Kind of looks like one of those doorsteps, doesn't it? It's the Mulberry May Jagger. Is it just called Jagger bag or Jagger pouch? I did a review recently, so have a look at that if you haven't seen that. I love how versatile it is with the really long chain, because you can carry a crossbody or on a short strap or on a sort of medium length strap. I like that it's quirky and different and doesn't look instantly like mulberry. What I struggle a little bit with is the opening, because this is really rather small. You can see this is recurrent theme, but actually it does fit quite a lot. So if you don't need to put big individual items in here, it's a really nice little bag, sort of really cool holiday bag. I think it's one again that you could sort of chuck in your suitcase and not be too worried about it. In here we've got a few. Let's start with the inside. I should remember this from last time when I unpacked them. This is my famous Ledbury, which I say famous because I converted her with the clips in here, there, and the long strap, which is actually an Alexa strap, and I bought. And I just haven't used her for ages. Absolutely need to take her back out and use her probably in place of my Alexa, although having said that, I haven't used my Alexa for a while. Yeah, I would say that has to be a keeper just because of the history we have, and it's such a lovely bag, and yeah, it's actually good size, just not quite big enough to be my everyday work bag. Oh, and a good thing to know, this is a small Del Rey liner, and it fits perfectly. Let's pop the strap back in here. There we go. Oh, and then we have Lily number 3. See, I have to at least get rid of one, right? But, I mean, look how pretty. And that is the one that I bought when I was thinking, maybe more one for an evening. So I think this one's definitely a keeper. It's plaster pink, what's this, patent, crinkle patent, and it's rose gold hardware. It does feel a bit special, doesn't it? It's lovely. Love this one. Yet to use it. Let's go right over here. We've got my Roxanne. Absolutely love Darwin or NVT bags, as you probably know. This is oak. It's probably my favorite NVT color, but she's very, very heavy, so haven't quite decided on that. But what I do with the Roxanne is usually I have her, I don't use her much, I then sell her on, then I really miss her, buy another one. It's just a bit silly, but it's one of those bags, just looks so iconic. You almost feel like it's like a little black dress you want to have in your wardrobe. And you see yourself at a festival somewhere with one of those big guitar straps, but then in practice I probably end up using something much cheaper, and that I wouldn't worry about if it's lying on the grass or whatever. But yeah, it's just gorgeous, isn't it? Right, what else have we got? Basewater, another Basewater in a beautiful colour. It is a, what's it called? Sparkle tweed leather in, I think the colour is called emerald green. And yeah, you can see how it sparkles. Really lightweight, soft, brilliant summer bag. Used her a few times in the summer. Really like her, but would argue, yeah, it's different colour from the black one, but other than that, fulfills pretty much the same function. And there's a couple more Basewaters to come, so some of the Basewaters will probably have to go. There we have another one of these yet to use. Oh, it's such a pretty colour. Oh, it doesn't actually come out. It looks more orangey on the screen. It is a true pink, and I don't really do pink bags, but this one is really rather cool. So I'm trying to decide whether to keep this or the blue one. We're all done over here. What we got here? There we go. We've got Basewater number 3, which is called the Holiday Basewater. I think the inspiration was something along the lines of British summers, water repellent. In yellow and in blue they made these. I love the yellow enamel postman's lock. I think that's really rather nice. And yeah, the fact that it is water repellent is really rather practical. My other half said, are you going to keep this one? Meaning this is very yellow, but I do like it. It's probably not quite my colour, but it's the kind of, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't need to go with the etain or anything, does it? It's just a cheerful little colour. I had this briefly in the small, like the small Basewater satchel size. And just because it's almost the same size as the Ledbury, I ended up not keeping it. But yeah, nice. What's this? Okay, this one was new. It was suddenly my camera telling me that it was overheating. It's only been running for a few minutes. Anyway, right, shall we continue? We haven't done this one yet. This is my small Basewater buckle, which I got actually shortly after I realized that the Basewater is just a bit too heavy and too big and stuff, and this one was such a brilliant size, and really for like everything apart from my laptop is brilliant work bag. The only thing I had a bit of a problem with is when it was raining and I got rain essentially coming in here. But other than that, if you love the Basewater style and you find it just a bit too big and too heavy, and you don't quite want to go small Basewater satchel or Ledbury, but a little bit bigger, a little bit more kind of, although it's not that much bigger, but it does definitely fit more because of the sides. And I think it also looks a little bit more grown up. This one looks more cute. I mean, the Ledbury looks more cute. This one looks more, proportions looks a little bit more sophisticated. What surprised me is that it didn't bother me that it didn't have a long strap, and I had to sort of do this or this. It's not one you can carry on your shoulders. Doesn't bother me at all. Loved it. So I'm pretty sure to keep it. Right. In here we have my maple. It's a regular sized maple in, what's it called? I think it's called burgundy. It's not oxblood. I think it's called burgundy. I love the texture of the leather. It looks kind of like a printed pattern almost on it. Short handles and the straps. I never really used the straps. Really good size, quite big. I'm pretty sure I'm going to dig her out soon. Loved having this pocket and the zip pocket on the back, because I could put my travel pass and stuff like that in. Things you want to get to really quickly in the morning when you're running on your commute and that kind of stuff. Only thing that bothered me there a bit, again, that it was open, and when it was raining a lot and you're standing at the train station, and yeah, it's just literally it rains in. So that wasn't ideal. But other than that, loved it. Oopsie. Can I get this out. I feel like I'm on the clock now with this camera, whether it's going to tell me again that it's overheating in a minute. This is my, what's it called? I've forgotten what it's called. Roxette. Mulberry Roxette. Similar to the Roxanne in terms of size and shape. Supposed to be sort of an updated modern style take on it. Lighter microfiber light, and obviously less hardware, not the big pockets on the front. I thought it would really bother me that you had to open and close this thing. I only ever thread it through. I don't put a little thorny thing in. Has a long strap, and in the end I didn't actually use it that much. Carried her like this. Really good size. Love the fact that it's boxy. I think it takes, or it fits my Alexa Samorga, so it can be really organized in there. Yeah, really good. Love this one. We go over here. Oh, talking about Alexa. There she is. Why is she so heavy? Is there anything inside? My mini Alexa's in there we go. So my mini Alexa is what I take on holiday with me to Germany usually, because she doesn't get stuffed. She's a bit worn at the edges. She gets chucked into the suitcase. Well, not chucked, I'm not being horrible, but she gets literally popped in the suitcase like so. And I just make sure this doesn't poke anything, or this doesn't have anything hard on it so it might break, just between clothes or something like that. It's just the colour just cheers me up every time. It's called cabbage green, this colour. Yeah, back to my Alexa then. My first grown-up handbag purchase, simply because it was full price directly at Mulberry, and I bought her from a bonus back then, and I felt so special going into shop and picking it out and wondering what colour, and then yes, settled for the black. Had a repipe recently, had a new strap done, because literally the first use after picking up from repiping, the strap broke on one of the door clips, so she's ready for action again. So I think I'll leave her out and actually use it at the weekends now, because I don't have to carry all the kiddie stuff around with me anymore. Did I forget something underneath here? What's in there? Oh, we've got my mini Cara in Oxblood. How pretty is this one? Haven't really used it yet. I think I'm going to get a guitar strap so I can use a crossbody, because it's a really good size, almost like a satchel-y size. Yeah, love this one. Pretty, isn't it? And I need to stuff her before I put her away properly. But maybe I should just leave it out and use it, right? Then up here we have my Rosemary. It's the smaller sister of the Roxanne. Oops, this way. Much lighter, obviously, because it's just much smaller. Exactly the same sort of proportions and the same features, only scaled down. The only difference is she comes with this strap, so it's a shoulder strap, but I use her with a long strap, one of those guitar thingies, which is brilliant because she's a really good size. Actually, for the weekend I use her a lot when I just pop out on my own sometimes, which doesn't happen very often, or sometimes with him as well. And I like that you can pop a couple of small things in there, so like tissues or something. And then my two probably rarest pieces, which are simply staying because they're so rare and so difficult to replace. A mini Kelly in black Congo leather, so cute, isn't it? And I think this one is a small Kelly, because there's a couple of sizes more above this. Small Kelly, oops, in a black, smooth black leather. Just so classic, and people always think, oh, is this a MS? No, it's not. It is a Mulberry, and he completely ripped off MS. But yeah, very rare. Only ever seen a few of these around. Right, I think, have I buried anything in here? What's this? What did we put back in there? No, that's my Cara. I think, no, you haven't. The only thing you haven't seen yet is my base water in oak, natural veg tan. I've just moved out of her actually into something non-Mulberry, which is this VBA handbag, simply because I felt like, oh, I'm wearing a black croc belt and black shoes, so I just thought this morning, let's quickly swap over and be totally coordinated, which I normally never am. I just fancy doing that. Anyway, we got through without another overheating incident. I hope you found this useful. I hope you're enjoying the better quality, but let me know what you think. Bye!